From the Pep Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are currently following. WFMZ is reporting that the regents who govern Georgia's 26 public universities and colleges voted on Tuesday to ask the NCAA and another college athletic federation to ban transgender women from participating in women's sports. The unanimous vote came after Georgia Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, a Republican, vowed in August to pass legislation that would ban transgender women from athletic events at public colleges. The regents asked the NCAA and the National Junior College Athletic Association to conform their policies with those of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. That federation voted in April to all but ban transgender athletes from competing in women's sports at its 241 mostly small colleges. Of the 25 schools governed by the regents that have sports programs, 4 are members of the National Junior Collegiate Athletic Association, 5 are members of the NAIA, and the remaining 16 are NCAA members. The University of Georgia and Georgia Tech are NCAA members. All athletes are allowed to participate in NAIA-sponsored male sports, but the only athletes allowed to participate in women's sports are those whose biological sex assigned at birth is female and have not begun hormone therapy. The much larger NCAA began in August to follow the standards of national and international governing bodies for each sport. Before that, the NCAA policy for transgender athlete participation, in place since 2010, called for 1 year of testosterone suppression and documented testosterone levels submitted before championship competitions. Board of Regents Secretary Chris McGraw said that the Junior College Federation allows some transgender students to participate in women's athletics in some circumstances. The Advocate is reporting that with less than 30 days until the 2024 general election, a group of gay conservatives, the Log Cabin Republicans, are hosting a fundraiser on Wednesday in Newtown, Pennsylvania, called Unity Newtown Square, where prominent gay conservatives are throwing their weight behind former President Donald Trump and his running mate, Ohio U.S. Senator J.D. Vance. While the event is touted as a show of unity within the conservative LGBTQ+ community, it has sparked outrage from LGBTQ+ advocates who point to Trump and Vance's extensive records of attacking LGBTQ+ rights and the inclusion of highly controversial figures as special guests. Richard Grinnell, the gay former U.S. ambassador to Germany under Trump, is headlining the event. Grinnell has remained one of Trump's most loyal defenders despite the former president's actions to roll back LGBTQ+ protections. His defense of Trump's record has put him at odds with many in the broader community who see Trump's policies as directly harmful. The event's list of far-right special guests is contributing to the controversy surrounding the event. David Leatherwood, a former board member of Gays Against Groomers, is among the event's featured guests. Leatherwood has publicly endorsed the dangerous groomer smear, a false accusation that equates LGBTQ+ people with child predators. Far-right groups have increasingly used this baseless attack to justify anti-LGBTQ+ legislation. U.S. Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida, another special guest, is no stranger to controversy. Gaetz is facing increasing pressure both legally and politically after being implicated in a series of scandals involving underage girls. As the Advocate reported, newly unsealed civil court documents allege that Gaetz attended a drug-fueled party in 2017 involving a 17-year-old girl. Multiple eyewitnesses and corroborating evidence, including geolocation data, placed Gaetz at the party, hosted by his close ally, lobbyist Chris Dorworth. The allegations come on the heels of a 2021 confession letter from Gaetz and his associate Joel Greenberg, who admitted to arranging sexual encounters for the congressman with underage girls. Gaetz has not been charged with any crimes. So far, Gaetz has continued to back Trump's false assertions about transgender youth. After the September 2024 presidential debate between Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris, Gates stood in the spin room and reiterated Trump's debunked claim that children are receiving gender-affirming surgeries in schools. When questioned by the advocate, Gates sidestepped the falsehood, instead focusing on parental rights, a far-right talking point that he and Trump have used to push anti-LGBTQ plus policies. Perhaps the most eyebrow-raising guest is Aaron Schock, the former U.S. representative from Illinois, who resigned from Congress in 2015 amid a scandal involving misuse of taxpayer funds. Schock came out as gay years after leaving office, but his voting record in Congress included opposition to LGBTQ plus rights, such as voting against the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Despite now living as an out gay man, Schock has faced backlash for his hypocrisy and failure to stand up for the LGBTQ plus community and our rights while in office. This would be his first foray back into politics since he left office. Brian Sims, a gay former Pennsylvania lawmaker and the new CEO of Agenda PAC, condemned the event and the individuals attending. It's outrageous and deeply disturbing to see LGBTQ plus individuals like Rick Grinnell, Scott Pressler, and Aaron Schock aligning themselves with a figure like Matt Gaetz, someone who's been credibly accused of grooming, Sims told the advocate. The irony is sickening. They claim to be against grooming, yet they stand side by side with a man who's the real threat. I, as president and founder of the Pennsylvania Equality Project, called out the event's harm in a statement to the advocate. While we are supportive of the broader LGBTQ plus community, we cannot turn our backs on the most marginalized within our community, I said. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance's proposals, whether in Project 2025 or Agenda 47, are disastrous to the LGBTQ plus community. I went on to say that while log cabin Republicans are entitled to think however they want, they are bringing real harm to the rest of us, adding, that harm comes from rolling back the civil rights causes we have worked hard to achieve over decades. Within the GOP is an entire faction of people who refer to the LGBTQ plus community as groomers and pedophiles. Neither Donald Trump nor J.D. Vance have taken any steps to dissuade those Republicans from attacking our civil rights all across the country. Simply put, if the LGBTQ plus community is woke, the log cabin Republicans are sound asleep. That's the news at this hour. Now back to more music on Pep Radio.